everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be flying from none other than Denmark to Copenhagen Kastrup Airport. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Flight's expected to be about 1 hour plus the start of about 20 minutes. Apologies about that. Apologies everybody, welcome in. We are in the 737 today, Ryanair. Already got the tow bar attached and the pushback attached because we're having some issues with the parking brake before, so I haven't really done much. We got ground power. I was going to pre-start, but I figured, you know, everyone wants to see all the startup and things, so why skip it? Our route today is taking us up to flight level 300. We are expecting both SID and STAR procedures. And we're expecting a full load, so we're expecting 184 people. Which is rather cool. Good for the weight, good for the handleability of the aircraft, that's for sure. A total of 184 packs, that's quite a lot. I think that's like maximum capacity. Cargo as well is also maximum capacity at 4590, so we're quite loaded, and fuel 5925. So we have switched over to the generator there at the APU, but we have got ground power connected as well. You pretty much have discretion there to connect whatever you want. I mean, if you have ground power connected, obviously that's going to prevent the APU power being used. Let's just change our view to this one. This is a little bit better here for accessing the overhead panel as well. So you want the IRS to nav. Okay, refueling starting. By the way, the navigation, I've talked through this quite a while ago, but I usually skip it now. You should turn it to a line, wait for the white, and then turn it to nav. Again, just waiting for that stall test to charge up on the ground power. Or the battery, or whatever it is. It's usually battery and ground power, so the amount of time can vary a lot. Quick check of all the lights and annunciations. They're all illuminated. Very, very colourful cockpit. Love the NG model. It's probably one of the best planes. I think the consensus is one of the best planes ever manufactured. The design is very easy to navigate. We're just doing some fire checks here. We should really check the APU when it's not online, and we should really check the electronics before we turn them on. As same with the lights, but we've gone ahead and done that anyway. I'm sure a lot of pilots do that as well on the sim, not necessarily in real life. We'll get the window heat on. So we should work down it vertically. There is a proper procedure in how to work through the cockpit and things in the overhead panel. So you'd work from the left side, then you know down this, and then the centers, and then the right. But because we're not in a real aircraft run a sim, we're just going to make sure we keep it semi-realistic, because it'll never be 100%. Now we're going to hit floods. Doesn't make a difference in the daytime, but it helps to illuminate instruments when you go through dark clouds. Of course, the fuel's already on board. Let's try and get that light there. So that's what I'm trying to reach for. The panel lights, keep them nice and bright. Again, we keep a little bit of overhead just in case we pass through clouds, but it's actually VFR all day, it seems. It's looking very, very nice. Okay, so on this one, unlike the 747, you can't simply click company route and load it. You will have to load it a different way, and the way you do it is not very easy, to be honest. It's a little bit of a pain, so you have to go and find the index page and then navigation data, and that should allow you fly your flight plans and then back to routes and then paste it. It's a bit of a process. Today we're just no flight number, we've got our tail number as our call sign, and as usual, well actually, as not actually usual, it's actually managed to put the departure in. It's a miracle. So we got there, this is departure, the P1L, that's the P1 Lima departure to Petov. As you can see, it's a relatively short flight, and it's actually managed to put the departure in, arrival in too, so I'm very happy with that. So let's go ahead and go on a climb. Cruise altitude, so we know it's going to be 300 today. That's 30,000 feet. Oh, looking pretty good. Max rate and max angle can be changed, so we can change it to max rate or max angle. We're going to go for max rate. Let's close that cockpit door because we're about to load packs on board. There we go, we should get the jetway, so it's connected there. Cargo's loading, cleaning's all done. All we've got to wait for now is the initialization or the IRS. It's looking really, really good at this airport. I'm impressed that the frame rate is so steady. It's not been this steady for a long time. It's actually near 60 FPS for once. Anybody who's been on Ryanair will know that music. No, I know. Welcome in, finest. Yeah, I realised that after I typed it. Kastrup Airport. My mistake. I was tempted to call it Ketchup Airport, but I didn't want to upset anyone. Yeah, anyway, that's the Ryanair boarding music, and they'll be playing that when we land, and people will be clapping and celebrating because the Ryanair pilots made it without crashing. Okay, cool, that's the fuel boarded up. I think we're going to go ahead and just stick things on now, so I'm going to stick the middle fuel pumps on temporarily, just to check the valve, and then turn them off. But if we do get any fuel in the centre, obviously we can do that. Let's switch to the APU power now before we forget. Let's get our lights on. That would help, wouldn't it? Our navigation lights. So that just tells ground crew that we're working on the plane. I have seen mixed opinions now. I'm not sure why we got that rear boarding thing with staircase. Everyone should be coming in through the jetway. Cool, so we go back up to the overhead panel. We've worked down the left hand side. We double check that light. IRS 3 minutes. Still one in. So we go down this side. We got the yaw dampers on. No, they don't really bother with much over this side because it's already set where you need it to be set. So you would only really mess with these things if one side failed. So if, I don't know, the co-pilot's IRS failed, you could put both on the left side. Obviously, that makes sense. Spoilers again. I don't know why you would turn them off. I mean, there's obviously going to be reasons for that. I haven't encountered them yet. Alternate flaps, of course. Anyway, working down, so sources, the fuel pumps, then the electrics is this side, and then we've done with that. A little bit of lighting thing here, and alternate air cooling. Window wipes, of course, and we've got window heat and pitot heat, so we don't need those on till we land, till we take off. And of course you could do it overhead, in which case you'll have to turn these off. and back on again. And we're down wing anti-ice snare. You may want to turn it on and just check it's functional. It's entirely up to you. I think that probably will be unessential. Forward entries open, cockpit voice recorders. Pressurization now. The pressurization is actually over to the right hand side, so work down the right. Trim air on. Let's keep it a little bit chilly today. APU bleed air on. I'm going to put the packs on because the people are getting on board. We want to keep them nice and cool. Need a cup of coffee? Yeah, I've got my coffee ready, find us. You know what, I'll give you a minute or two because I won't do anything else until... Well, obviously we got time, haven't we? We got time to the IRS. I'm going to be back in a minute. I need a little bit of a thing myself. Alright, I'm back. Thank you everybody for joining the flight today. It's super great to have people coming into the streams. Don't be afraid to join in, even if you just want to say hello in chat. Fine, obviously I'll be waiting, I won't be rushing. Taking it nice and easy. IRS has in fact aligned, let's go ahead and do that and then we'll get agency clearances if available. Of course, the departures come up nice and smoothly, no issues on that. Relatively straightforward as well, so that's a nice hand-flown departure easily. Let's go ahead and engage. The main control panel of the autopilot's the MCP, let's do the LNAV. And the VNAV won't engage sometimes, it depends what the departure requires. Let's go ahead and look at it. So we're at ESSA, Stockholm Arlanda. QNH is essential too, so 1036, wow. It's pretty high up. And they're synced on both sides, brilliant. Oh wait, for departure with a left hand turn. Looks like it's the RNAV SID. Okay, that matches up with our departure actually, so let's read this a little bit. So left hand departure, runway 08. Let's just actually give me a sec to check the ATC. So ENOS Centre. There's nobody at this airport, so I don't think there's anybody here. Which means we're clear to fly straight up to 300. And if we don't follow the procedures to the T, we're not going to be getting in too much trouble for it. No. There is ATC, however, at Oslo approach. By the way, we're in Sweden and we're going to be flying down to Denmark. Okay, cool, that's a bit of a load off, so we won't worry about the departure. We will worry about the airport though and the taxiways. So ground movement chart for the departures. Cool. And then we just reference that with our parking space here, which is a little bit hard to distinguish actually. I'm not sure whereabouts we are on the terminal. It's a big airport as usual, international. And we'll get something a bit better than that, maybe an aerodrome charts. No. There's got to be one here. Sometimes you can spend a while looking for the one with the plane on it that shows you where your location is. Oh well, let's just figure it out as we go on. I think we're pretty much ready to push back. Let's just check what the packs are doing. 82%. We are pretty much ready to go though. So let's go ahead and stick RTO on. Okay, cost index today, they're cheap today, they're a 14. Not very much. Planned fuel, so I think it was like 5.9. 5.9 there. That includes the reserves, by the way. So it's planned fuel and the reserves are in that total amount.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Show me where you want to go. Love that guy's accent.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Not just yet, push back, we're not ready. Ready, Stockholm, Copenhagen, I think. The most busy route in Scandinavia. Every hour, both way. Wow, we've really picked something here. It is a short flight though, it's an interesting route. I like Kastrup Airport, I've flown there before. Let's get rid of the ground. Ground power's not connected anymore. Let's go ahead and kick the packs off. Let's change the landing altitude of the airport. Okay, I think I just heard the jetway. Yes, I did. So jetway's disconnected. I'm really quite excited to get in the air at the moment. I've been enjoying the 737 a lot lately, and I'm going to fly a new 737. So it'll be the exact same plane, but it'll be.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
But it'll be a different designers, and it'll be a different kind of. Probably will have significant differences, I think, from the Zibo mod, although I think it takes the tablets and then modifies it or something. Anyway, we'll be doing that at some point in the near future, so let's go ahead and get our beacons on. Let's go ahead and confirm we want our pushback.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Let's go ahead and light up number 1 first. Number 2, flight controls on. Auto throttle arms. Quite a high V2 speed today of 150. With rotation speed 140 and then 575 there on the trim. Almost 7%, 6%. I imagine. How much are those flights then from Stockholm to Copenhagen find us? Are they expensive? You'd think if they were doing it every day, like every hour, it'd be pretty cheap. But you know what airlines are like. Taxis. Taxi from Arlanda to the centre of Stockholm, 40 minutes behind me. Anyway, number 2, successful start. We'll go ahead and do number 1. I'll just check the configuration. Real world time and weather, yeah. We're rolling the into the real world here.
Set parking brake.
Okay, awesome. Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting cow. Stand by.
Now, you noticed before actually, standby mode isn't incorrect, but you would usually need to squawk mode C, so that's why I've changed it to altitude off. That's a mode Charlie, and the same with altitude on, and takeoff and all the other things.
This is for your safety and for the safety of the passengers around you. Thank you very
So
much.
is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. Right, let's get the APU off. Packs. Oh, I love the announcements. APU bleed air. Tax lights on. Continuous ignition.
Exits, each marked with a red exit sign. Floor path markings along the cabin aisle will illuminate in darkness and guide you to the nearest exit in an emergency. There are 4 main doors, 2 at the front of the cabin, 1 left and 1 right, and 2 at the rear of the cabin, 1 left and 1 right. There are 4 overwing exits in the center of the cabin, 2 left and 2 right. Please note the nearest exit to you, which may be behind you. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle.
Let's
To
get going.
secure, pull on the loose end of the strap, and to open, lift the buckle.
Actually, 5 degrees of flaps. Quick spoiler check. Quick flight control check, so ailerons and elevator. And rudder, of course. It's cool to have that window view from the
Stowed in a pocket beneath your seat
cabin.
or in the panel above your head. In the unlikely event of landing in water, remove the jacket from its packet and place it over your head. Bring the strap around your waist, clip at the front and secure as the crew are now demonstrating. To inflate the life jacket,
Let's just figure out where our runway is. Yeah, that view, that view from the cabin really makes it magical, doesn't it? It makes you feel like you're going on holiday, or in this case, hopping over to Denmark for a day out or something. We need runway 01. As I say, the chart is not very accurate, actually. So you go on here and you go on aerodrome chart, but it's massive. Like, there's no easy way there of seeing where we are. Just have to figure it out based on. So what's we got there? We got Zulu, Hotel, and Yankee. So there's Zulu and Yankee. Have we come out from here possibly? It's just really hard to distinguish it. I'm assuming around there somewhere. Anyway, where's runway 1? So this is Yankee 1. We've got 2 runways there. Let's just leave that open, but we can always check on the X-plane map. It's usually a little bit more helpful. So yeah, Zulu and Yankee, and then 01 left is down there. So what we do is we taxi to Yankee and then just take Yankee to 01. Stockholm Arlanda traffic, this is November 0806 Sierra Bravo, taxiing to runway 01 left via Yankee. That's so early, 4 AM for a 9 AM start, and you're probably not going to be, like, that's not going to be worth it, is it? The amount of money you would be spending, as you say, on the taxis, on the planes. Expensive being a commuter, isn't it? Although, to be fair, everything's expensive nowadays, so yeah. Anyway, 01 on the heading, and we set the course. We should really set it not to the heading on the runway, because that won't be the correct course. We should set it to something like, obviously you can see there that maybe 210 is a better one, so it seemed to be pre-selected. Let's go back down to 210. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's just a shame that people, like, I've had to do a long commute myself, and you know, obviously people in the chat have, and it's a little bit heartbreaking to see people, like, for example, travelling from, like, up north in England all the way down to London, and it takes a couple of hours on a train, which costs over £100, probably over £150 sometimes, just for a one-way ticket. And you gotta just feel a bit sorry for them. I know that sounds bad, but they made the effort to do all of that when realistically they should have been able to get a job closer to them, you know. There should have been enough opportunities for them. And it's just one major issue after another, isn't it, with things like that. Anyway, beautiful looking place. I love the taxiways here. They're very they're not quite smooth tarmac, but they're certainly clean. They're certainly built a lot more chaotically, should we say, than some of the other ones, but there's a lot more space at the same time. So you can see there we've got a few roundabouts. Well, I call them roundabouts. We know what they are. They're just turning points. We've got these, like, chunky hold short signallings, which tell us where we're meant to stop after clearing the runway, of course. Let's hold in short. Yankee is 01 left. See there, the brakes take a lot longer to stop the aircraft because we're so heavy. We do in fact have this checklist, but there's also another checklist that also pops up, which is it's sort of the same, but it's in a different format. Anyway, let's go ahead and do our transponder. And let's get our landing lights on now. Takes lights off. Cabin is ready, so we just push that to confirm. Probes are coming on. Flaps are set. Seatbelt signs are on. Cabin announcement has been made. We'll contact the ATC. Stockholm Arlanda Airport. This is November 806 Sierra Bravo, departing runway 01 left to the west. So the departure I just give then is actually incorrect. I just did it a bit informally because we're not in contact with ATC, but realistically we'd say your departure. So we would say we'd say we were 806 Sierra Bravo departing the 01 left on the Pete 1 Lima departure. So the way I said it is more of a VFR way. Anyway, let's get going. Yeah, exactly. Find us. That's they sort of commute there from the north to the south, and the trains are just diabolically overpriced.
knots.
80 knots.
V1 rotate.
V1 rotate.
Positive rate.
Positive rate climb, gear coming up. I don't know if anybody noticed there, but we did take off on the wrong runway. 400 feet.
1,000.
1,000. It's supposed to be 01 left, which it says the right runway there, but we were supposed to be on 08, not 01 left. So that's my mistake, everybody. I don't know why I got 01 in my brain there. I have no idea. Cool, so 1,000 feet. We'll do the autopilot now. Let's check what's coming up on the departure. So 600, then 2,500 feet, and straight up to 300. Yeah, so very bad error on my part. No idea why I mixed up the runways. I suspect the departure mixed me up a little bit. Oh well, I still had fun. Okay, after departure, so let's get our ignition back to automatic. Transponder's already on. We're already squawking as code there that we can continue to use. I'm going to stick the anti-ice on now. Although actually taking a look over here, we can see that high pressure again building up. So what I'm going to do is put the packs on high. Cabin's nice and cool. And that'll just hopefully take some of that pressure out of the system. Absolutely find us. It is going to be beautiful and clear all the way there today, so there's no excuses for me to make a terrible, terrible landing. By the way, Travel Buff, if you are here or watching, I know you suggested Peru, and I'm going to slip that Peru flight in tomorrow. So tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to be having a flight there from Lima, as recommended, down to Cusco. And then of course Friday we'll be doing the MD-82. You'll notice we're climbing steeply because I've selected the best angle of the best rate of climb, I believe, in the FMC down here. So you can see there the speed now it's increased to 50, but the angle was pretty high there for a while. Anyway, 10,000 feet. Let's take the landing lights off. Let's get our seatbelt sizer.
And for your comfort and safety that you keep your seatbelt securely fastened throughout your flight. There is a call bell, reading light and fresh air vent in the panel just above your head, and we'd like to remind you that this is a strictly non-smoking flight, and all toilets are fitted with smoke detectors. We invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy your flight with us.
Thank you, Ryanair announcer. She disobeyed the captain. That means she's fired. She's never coming on my plane again. Brilliant. Blue skies all the way there. Welcoming Travel Buff. I'm looking forward to it as well. This channel is just going to become a series of live streams where we fly to some of the world's most sort of scenic places and most challenging airports. It seems to be that at the moment. I'm loving it. We still have Lukla Airport in Nepal, but that's a whole different ball game, and it's a different kind of aircraft we'd have to use as well. There's no chance of even getting the Citation 10 in it. The biggest plane I think we could land there would probably be the Baron. This is a big departure turn, isn't it? We've been turning for a while. There's Petev with a altitude of 26,000. We're meant to be arriving at runway 04 left. Oh no, 2 Alpha arrival. Planning it extremely early today during the climb. We can put their frequencies in at the same time, so it's really super helpful actually to do it. Normal 050, that is correct. There's our arrival, the Ernov 2 Alpha. It's pretty straightforward actually. Just a typical arrival. 3,500 coming in from Tesby. But Ernov is 11,250 knots max. Okay, there's the visual approach chart for the runways, for the airport actually. But we don't want visual, we're in an airliner, so we'll go all instrument. Category 1 and 2 on 04 left. So again 3,000 feet altitude. .037 is the course, and it seems like, so it looks like we're going to come in, we have to intercept one of these depending on which direction, so Erpuk or Dopum. Let's just check what we got in the FMC down here. Ernov, so it looks like we're coming to Ernov from, no it's not on there, I thought it was, I thought that was Erpuk. Oh well, we'll approach plan now to 04 left. KAS transition. I don't know what's going on, I can't find them, but I suspect it's because X-Plane doesn't have them. There's no there's no option for these waypoints in there. That's no problem, it's only a short flight. Wow, look at that sun. It looks almost dark, and our tail is like spewing out snow. Wow. Yeah, look at that. That's insane. It's a cloudless sky, but the sun is bursting, isn't it? Oh wow, that is magical. Look at that. And Ryanair just looks so great when it's got a little bit of sun on it. This is a sign, everybody. It's screenshot time. Indeed, tons of police these days. I'm not sure what you mean though, visits from 27 countries. I'm not sure what you mean, Finders. I'm assuming you don't mean bats and pilots. Okay, autopilot's gone off again. So as you can see, yeah, the angle is slightly higher and we're climbing slightly slower than we would because of the different rate we selected on the climb. Just to get there a little bit quicker, I didn't want to spend forever climbing again. In terms of everything else, we're pretty much sorted. We don't need to worry about the arrival. We do need to worry about the airport. The taxiways, etc. Let's hope it's a little bit clearer. The ground movement charts are very useful as well, so that's handy. So you can pre-plan it there from 04 left, which is here, and then it seems like we're taking the left-hand turn out. Oh, parking and docking. So ground movement's probably the one we need. Seems like we'll just taxi down, take either Alpha 7, Alpha 6 or Alpha 5, one of those three. The EU, oh I see, the EU. Okay, I'm with you now. I'm with you. That's strange, isn't it? You got the EU, like, you'd think it wasn't confined to so few people, but it is. So in terms of parking, I can see a lot of good places there. I'm trying to plan it as smoothly as possible, so we're going to come off somewhere down here, Bravo Charlie, so we'll carry down. We'll have to cross that runway there, and then got a de-icing spot there, look at that. Yeah, so down here somewhere, and these are spaces, then we've got terminals. Cool, it might be a left-hand turn. We'll wait and find out what's going on. We'll wait and see if there's ATC.
Thousand to go.
Just want to say as well, anybody who will watch this on Kastrup, welcome to the channel. I'm glad and thankful for the subscriptions recently. I suspect when we get a bit more into the hundreds, then we'll start to see significant growth. For now it's just channel building, just building that community, I guess. Trying to build a relationship with viewers, make you all feel welcome. Anybody's welcome here, by the way, don't feel embarrassed about chatting.
Feel free to move around the cabin, but we do ask if you are in your seat that you do keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case we... Otherwise, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Cool, cabin lighting, cruise. Thanks announcement, level off message, we've just done that. Toggle checklist S. Toggle checklist in laminar. Let's select S. Actually, no, that's not. That's for X checklist, isn't it? Ah, that's the one I was on about. Talking about earlier. This part. This box. Now, I was flying the MD-82 the other day, and I haven't downloaded an X checklist for that aircraft. However, when I loaded in it, this kind of formatted checklist appeared, and I realised it's part of the game. The problem is that I don't know how I managed to get it to appear. I don't know where it came from, but it's there and it's loaded into the game and it's able to talk me through the procedures, so that was super handy. The problem is this clear one, this transparent one, is not it's good for the stream, obviously, so you can see the cockpit still, but it's not good for me for visibility. The only thing that does is just it makes it white, but it's a bit too bright. It'd be good to just stick to this one here on the left. Let's keep it just down there a little bit smaller so it doesn't close. We don't want to lose it again. Now, thankfully we've not had any air duct pressure things. We've not had this cut out. It's because I selected packs to high, so if I go back to automatic, so there's no change there. Fantastic. Alternate airport today is also in Denmark. Something called Echo Kilo Alpha Hotel Aarhus. I hope I'm pronouncing it. It's spelled Aarhus. And it's just not the northwest of Kastrup Airport. The approach into this one's very interesting. So of course we fly down to that waypoint Airport, which was on the charts, and then up to the airport. So we know now from the sim brief, well I do, almost there indeed. Finally, so I know now that it'll be from the airport waypoint. So we can go back down. By the way, this coffee's very bad. It tastes so plain. They didn't even put any sugar in for me. So go back to the chart. We saw it before the arrival. So now I know that I'll be coming to airport. It isn't in the FMC, but it's in the flight plan. The only thing I can think it's Ernov rather than airport. So yeah, down to airport, 3,000 feet, maximum speed 220. Taking that left hand turn onto 037, and of course landing with 110.50. Let's get prepared for our descent. We are in fact nearly there at our descent point, so we'll go ahead and change a few things. Most notably the course, so we'll set 037 on there. Pre-selected. I'm very on the ball sometimes, but other times, you know, I do miss things. I think I do a good job overall. 037, and there's also a lot of streamers out there. I've watched a few who do just a great job of everything they do. The streams are always interesting. They always do great flights. So yeah, there's certainly no shortage. So back to the landing. So we're going to put one brake, auto brake on. We'll use manual braking if required. We'll do our system and recall now, and we will follow the checklist. That's what we got it open for. Descent weather, so we know it's going to be clear. Marked twice for some reason. Okay, transition level. I haven't found the transition level, but I'm just going to assume it's 18,000 feet like usual. If we don't have ATC online, a local QNH we've set. Let's go ahead and set that here. So I think it's 1034. ISA deviation. That'll be down here in the FMC. So we can also check our reference on the approach. 142. So it's looking like we are going to use full flaps at 147. Quite a high landing speed there, but we also got to take into account the weight. In fact, let's go ahead and put the auto brakes on 2, just because we're fully loaded. It's going to be difficult to slow down. Where do we put it now? Where is it? Oh, blimey, I've gone a blank. Oh well, we'll leave the ISA deviation. It's saying the rest of that is done. The bank angle, we didn't change it to 20. I see it's gone back to that one. Fixed distance ring set. Decision I. Okay, we didn't set altitude to takeoff minimums, but we're going to set the arrival minimum. So 200 feet. Navigation frequency set, course is set, altitude bug. So we descend now. Let's just descend down to 11,000 feet. There we go. It should do the descent when we get to the waypoint. Landing performance, we've done that. Landing flaps, well, we'll go full flaps, 40 degrees. Auto brakes number 2. Yoke checklist. I don't really do do the Yoke checklist, because the X checklist is much more in depth, although you can do it. It's obviously calling for it separately, so what we do is go down descent, pressurization, landing altitude, anti-ice. We've discussed the approach, we know what we're going to do. We'll just go around back to 3,000 feet, make a left hand turn back to obviously Book. Cabin lighting. Right, so cabin lighting I think can go on landing now, because we're almost there. PAX announcement, so that'll happen automatically. I feel like it's going back on the chat list. Yeah, it's going back. Descent procedures 2. Left and right. You know what? We're just gonna skip. We know what the chat list is. Let's just skip it. We know what we need to do. It's gonna take too much time to read it. I think I'm a bit too slow today for it, so we'll skip it. Cockpit door will not open in flight, so that's obviously a safety feature there. We've got the door locked, prevents anybody getting in or getting out unless it's unlocked. So if I attempt to do it, we cannot do it. You have to do it by hand, or there's an unlock thing down here. So flight deck door, unlock or deny, and it will say lock, fail, auto lock, etc. Yeah, so the other 737 I'm going to be flying won't with the Zibo mod, but it's definitely not going to be the default 737, that's for sure, because X-Plane did a damn poor job of it. Even Microsoft did their default 737 a lot better. They really got it spot on, and they had everything, including like the walk around. Anyway, there's the descent, so let's go ahead and idle the engines. Yeah, so the new one is, let me just get the name of it before I mess it up. Okay, it's called the Level Up 737NG. Now, the reason why I'm going to be doing it is because somebody actually commented on one of the videos and asked me if I'd flown the level up one recently, and I hadn't, because I haven't actually flown the aircraft. So that's going to be one we'll be using in the future if it's better than the Zibo mod. You know, and there's a lot of parameters to tick in terms of like, do I like it or not? If I like it more, we'll just stick to that one from then on. If not, we can always come back to the Zibo and we can always mix it up again in the future. It's a completely free plane, by the way, for X-Plane 12. It's called the Level Up 737.
Front and window blinds fully open. Any bags you may have removed during the flight must now be restowed for landing, ensuring the main emergency exits and cabin aisle are kept completely clear of all baggage for landing. There should be no further walking or standing in the cabin aisle, and we'll be landing shortly. Thank you.
Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Sorry. I know you've all paid a lot. Sorry. Everyone, I'm going to go and use the toilet. Where are they? Where are the toilets in this aircraft? We got toilets back here. Oh no, is that going to open or is that the back door? No, it's a shame we can't get in there. I hope the Level Up 737 has accessible toilets, because that's one thing we'd like to see here, isn't it? We all love a good cabin. It's not the best detail, it's a little bit blurry in a lot of places. But just those extra details would make it a lot better. Anyway, we've got a rogue passenger walking around. Let's get him sat back in his seat. Quite a tall bloke as well. There's the 11,000 feet, and we should be able to see Airport from here. So there's Airport. Just about see it on the map. It's showing a left-on turn to the runway, yeah, so it's all coming up as required. So we check the altitude to 3,000 feet, 220 knots. So we've got another plane landing at Kastrup Airport at the moment. He's also landing on 04 left. .737 also coming in from he's coming in from the west. He's coming from somewhere called Bergen, Flesland, which is way far away, actually, way up in the north of the country, so miles away. We are tuned in on Unicom. I'll give them a quick announcement. They're on the arrival. Let's just confirm we don't want to mess up our call on the radio. Kastrup Airport, this is November 806 Sierra Bravo. We're descending out flight level 3000 for the No, 2 Alpha arrival, 04 left. On the speed brake, not been any issues with it making strange noises today. Okay, we got a gap there between the airport, but it has finally come up on the FMC. It's a relief. Only costs 3,000 there for final, and 220 knots will be the max speed. So if it doesn't slow down, it should be able to follow the FMC, and it should say 220. So it is at the moment at a puck, which is perfect. Cabin ready. Flaps 5. $10,000 feet, landing lights, turnout lights, seatbelt signs are on, flaps are set to 5, gonna turn the anti-ice off early. It's still -5 outside, it's pretty chilly here in Sweden, not Sweden, my mistake, in Denmark, in Copenhagen, so it's quite cold, obviously approaching the summer. We've leveled off at 11,000 feet rather than 3,000. We should be going down all the way. Let's get flaps to 10. We set the minimums 200 feet. Let's make sure the co-pilot has it as well. He does indeed. He's already tuned in. Let's make sure he's got the frequencies at 110.5. Okay, so we can't quite. There we go. Thought he's gonna have some issues there. Check the APU prior to starting on the ground. I don't have any don't have any surprises. Let's just go and click lever change and we will just maintain the speed we're currently at. Should be able to see the airport, everybody. If you look at the left hand side, you'll be able to see it momentarily. We'll be in view. As you can see, we're flying down and we're taking that right hand turn. And then coming in on the downwind leg, turning base, and of course final. Oh no. I can't see it. I can't see. I can't see the airport. Over to our left-hand side. Am I blind? I must be blind. I must be looking at the wrong place. The bridge to Sweden. That's very, very cool, isn't it? Oh, there it is. There's the airport, way in the distance. Right, we've got it. We've got it. It's right on the coast there, right on the edge of the edge of Denmark. I'm assuming that's it anyway. That's the only airport I can see. 04 left. I'm coming in for the ILS. Your house from. You must live super close to the airport. Find us. Wow, look at that. You got the centre there, down in the looks like downtown, loads of built places. You got a few big buildings here. There's a helipad on that one. That kind of looks like a hospital or something. They usually have a helipad and a nice river going through the centre and out into the main ports, and then of course across. Amazing. You got the right view then. You've got a really great view at Kastrup, right into the ocean. A few aircraft at the airports, we'll give them a call out. Do we need to tune the DME? I don't think we do, but we can always tune it in the backup just in case. We do need to tune the ILS in case it doesn't. I'll wait, and if it doesn't register that we've put it into the system, we can always click it and it will work automatically. Indeed, welcome. Welcome one and all to Copenhagen. Still the departure and the arrival always takes forever, but it's always worth it. They're always good landings. $15 degrees of flaps.
Thousand to go.
There's the runway. 04 left and 04 right. Oh, imagine if we landed like this. Oh, imagine if we landed in third person. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Landing like that. incredible. It really is. Let's take our sunglasses on. Shame there's no visor in here for the sun. I'm pretty sure there should be. And then of course you would pull it along this thing to the front windscreen. It'd probably be up here, then you just fold it down, but it's easier for pilots to have sunglasses, isn't it? It's good to be productive, everybody. If you are, you know, thinking about getting into flight simming, it's a good productive hobby. It really is. It's a great spare time. Okay, someone's going to be tired. It's behind 04 right. We're landing 04 left, so obviously that's great for us to know. You can confirm that. Let's just tune that. And there's a plane behind. He may be doing the same approach, but he's flying awfully close to us. He's flying very close indeed. We don't want an aircraft to be, because there's no ATC, people do, they act stupid, let's just say that, and they come into airports thinking they can just zoom in from 20,000 feet and land, and it doesn't work like that. You know, you have to respect other people online. I'm not saying that they're doing that, but it kind of looks like they are. How far are we now? 4.2 to final, and then 4.8, so we're within 10 nautical miles almost. I'll give them a call out. In a sec when we're a bit closer. Just close this leg off and then we'll call it on final. Or centre fix. I should say centre fix. There we go. Yeah, he's definitely I got a feeling he's one of those guys who wants to... Oh no, he's gone. He's been kicked. Hopefully. Either that or he couldn't fly his plane properly. Cool. Kastrup traffic November 806 Sierra Bravo is approximately 11 nautical miles. Final for runway 04 left. So I'm giving them plenty of advice and worn outs, call outs there to make sure people don't get in the way. The sea is called, I can't pronounce that, find us. I can't pronounce it, but it sounds good. Does it say on here anywhere? Perhaps the name of it? No, just airspace. Anyway, we need to focus, so no more distractions. I will keep it closed until landing.
Traffic, Scandinavian Airliner 0 runway 04 right.
Full flaps. Coach Bay, very good. Travel off. think we might have missed this ILS by quite a bit, because the plane's like all over the place. Let's go all manual. Not sure what was going on at the air. I must have missed the opportunity to turn the approach mode on, but it doesn't matter. Obviously it would be a go around by now, so don't do this in real life, obviously. Probably shouldn't do it on VATSIM either. Thousand feet. I'm just gonna pretend that there's a lot of turbulence. Oh no, we got a lot of turbulence, everybody.
$500.
500 feet. A little bit under speed, but that's not an issue whatsoever, still at reference.
300.
Really high. Yeah, like I said, I've been flying a lot of high approaches. Should we go around?
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Hey, spoilers. We bounced. We got reversers on. Oh, what a poor landing that was. That was horrible.
80 knots.
80 knots. Yeah, so I'm not good at landings lately. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, reversers, brakes, and spoilers, and flaps. I'm gonna have to do some offline practices, I think. Getting that ILS approach switch on in time. Welcome to Copenhagen.
Until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the
Cheers, finders. I think the problem is, even though I'm at the right altitude, I need to have that approach switch selected, which is a step that I'm forgetting. And then when we get, because we're at the right altitude, it will engage it before we need it, so that's good. We're on time. So we just turn the APU on at the moment. Didn't even have the strobes on. Man, I'm slacking big time. Cheers. I will enjoy my stay. It's gonna be nice. It looks really beautiful evening, actually. Look at that. I feel like I've generally just arrived here off a Ryanair flight after that landing. Let's get the transponder to mode C. Altitude off. So that other plane's departed now. He went 04, there he is. I've got another one down there. Kastrup traffic, November 8060 Bravo. Clear of runway 04 left. And we're going to go for a full shutdown, so we turn the window heat off in advance. It is 18 degrees out here, by the way. Sorry, it's 13 degrees, so it's relatively warm. Let's see what the rating gave us, because this is usually giving me good ratings and approaches for bad landings. No, it's acknowledged that it was bad. That's absolutely fine. Oh, hang on. We just had a... Yeah, so it'll give you the penalties. So, exceeded the flap speed limit. Well, I'm not sure how. High rate of descent below 500 feet. That's a big killer, that is. Landing flaps. Approach speed below 400. Well, we had landing flaps and the approach speed. Maybe we were just a bit slow and high. Oh well. What did we do? About an hour and a half, hour 44, so that's not too bad. That other plane there's just completely vanished. Anyway, we're going to go down Alpha and figure out what spaces around Mike. So Alpha Yankee Mike. Yeah, so we're right at home here, Ryanair. Some smaller jets, maybe they're a bit small, those spaces. We're going to take them anyway. This is actually a really cool view to use for taxiing. You get a good view of the nose, so you can check when you're about to crash into the parking space. We'll take B9, Bravo 9. Bravo 6 in this case. Looks like it's a blue line for parking. Good. Decent space, so we're going to shut the engines down. We're not going to follow any specific checklist for that. Transponder can come. Oh wow, you can in fact turn that to test. I've never realised that. To turn it to test, you hold it. That's very, very cool. APU generators. We'll leave the APU and we'll turn everything else. Turn everything else off. Ignitions. Fuel pumps. Taxi lights. That checklist is a pain. The auto manual and cockpit. IRS. If you don't turn that off, it'll make a loud beeping sound. What else do we need to do? It's been a while since they've done full shutdown. Everything else is off there. Trimmer, yaw damper. Let's turn absolutely everything off, including the utilities. Ignition, of course. Seatbelt signs and no smoking signs. APU bleed air. Bleed off the engines. Packs off. Usually you leave the bleed air on the engines on. Like I say, we're doing a complete shutdown, so absolutely everything comes off. Isolation valve is open. I think that's about it for the main stuff. Then emergency lights armed and battery off. So the only thing running now. In fact, let's just turn the APU off to make it proper. APU bleed air. Ground power. So the only thing now is ground power. As our packs get off. No round of applause, but I'm not going to cry about it. As usual, everybody, have a great day. It's been magical. And I'll see you tomorrow.